my video blog. So we have some interesting news here, and I brought in Greg Wynn. Greg, you're an architect?
I'm an architect in San Luis Obispo. I've been practicing for about 23, 25 years, somewhere in there.
Okay, great. And you also served on the city?
I'm the chair of the city's Architecture Review Commission,
okay.
And I'm also the education director for the local AIA chapter.
Okay, great. And weren't you on the planning commission of the city for a while? Or?
No.
Okay, you do too much. I can't keep track. So I brought Greg in because he's basically on the leading edge of what's happening with accessory dwelling units, where they've changed, putting an extra unit on a residential single-family property. So, Greg, what is the state law, and what is it going to mean for people in San Luis?
Let me start with what happened here in San Luis Obispo City. We had a secondary dwelling unit ordinance that would allow individual legal conforming lot to be able to have a 450 square foot unit added to the back of their parcel. Right. For a lot of people, it was cost prohibitive and size prohibitive. Right. Just couldn't make sense. It wouldn't pencil. Yeah. The state came through January 1st and said, let's relax a lot of these rules and create a new ordinance that ups the size, lowers the cost, removes the parking requirement, right. Changes the configuration requirement, really relaxes the standards. I think a lot of people are going to be using this as a way to build another unit on their parcel legally.
Yeah. So they wanted to allow for infill housing, reduction of sprawl, and so forth. And I remember I looked into it, and I had to put a parking lot, it seemed like, in front of my house, and the fees were exorbitant, and the restrictions it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, now I think it's going to make a lot of sense. People are going to be looking at this as a way to say, I can add value to my house. It could be, in the city of San Luis Obispo, it's going to be a requirement to be owner-occupied. Okay. In the county, that's not going to be the case. Right. But it's a great opportunity for people to live in either unit, for example. They can live in the back or rent the front house. They can have grandma or granddad back in the back unit, or even rent it to a student if they needed to for some additional income to pay for that primary mortgage.
Right.
Yeah, it's a grand opportunity.
It seems to make sense on all fronts. Now, I know the city has not finalized everything, and so, one, the costs, you could have 450 before, but now how big can the new units be?
Currently in San Luis Obispo, we're getting up to 800 square feet. Wow. You can actually get up to 1,200 square feet on a large parcel if the primary house is also quite large. You've got to go through a little approval process for that, but generally 800 square feet, it's a nice unit.
Yeah, that's good size. Yeah. And you were saying the configuration has changed because before you were limited, and then also the over-the-counter permit, so that's simpler as well?
It's not over-the-counter, but it is discretionary. What's been lost is all of the requirements to go through hearings and additional pieces. Now then, it's intended to be very simple, a checklist. Check, check, check. You're allowed to have this thing.
Got it.
The configuration component used to be a studio configuration, just kind of one room. The bed had to be within the living space, within the kitchen, everything within one space.
That's all you can
That's
do.
gone. Now then, in the new configuration, lack of configuration rules, you're able to actually have a bedroom, a little kitchen, little dining room. They can actually be kind of more separated out. Makes for a much more comfortable unit.
On an 800 square foot, could you have two bedrooms?
Totally could. Yeah,
okay.
You totally can. Yeah.
So in essence, City of San Luis, you're very knowledgeable about. County, they've also had some expansion. They might not have the owner occupancy rule, so if somebody were to move away, they could rent out their property.
Correct. I mean, there's a little side note and just into the weeds a little bit here. Even within the city, if perhaps you had a property or your parents had a property you inherited as they deceased, the owner occupancy rule can be waived for a period of time, so that you don't have to immediately sell the property because you're living in Montana. But there are some little caveat rules in there too. It's pretty deep in the weeds.
Okay, I'm sure it is. All right, good deal. All right, well, Greg, that's very helpful. Thanks for coming by.
No problem.
You're super busy with all this.
No problem. It's super fun.
If you have any questions, call us at 781-3750. We can put you in touch with Greg or try to answer your questions. Thanks so much, Greg.
Hey, thank you, Hal.
Yeah.